Hey, what's up YouTube? It is Melanie back with another video. So I missed yesterday because I was pretty much not feeling too well. So I'm back. I wanted to talk about the new Aborted album, Vault of Horrors. This came out this past Friday, whatever day that was, 15th or whatever. I can't remember. I don't have my calendar in front of me. So this is the band from Belgium. It's their 12th studio album. And this is out on, of course, Nuclear Blast Records. I know I don't have to talk about Aborted with anybody on this channel. Pretty much everybody is very familiar with this band. But I wanted to talk about my overall thoughts on the album and then show off this awesome CD because the artwork on here is pretty fantastic and the whole entire layout looks awesome. So this is just a standard jewel case. I think there's also a limited edition digipack version, which I don't know if that has extra songs on it or not. I think it might. I can't remember, to be honest off the top of my head. And then obviously there's a vinyl issue that has tons of different color variants. But I had this on pre-order through Amazon, and it came on Saturday, the day after it was released. So I wasn't able to record this video until then. So unfortunately, did not get a release day. So the one thing that I want to call out about this album is this is essentially a death metal rap album. And what I mean by that is every single song on the album has a guest feature on it. Every single song. They're not listed on here, but they are in the booklet. But I'm going to go through every single one really quickly. Number one, the first song, Deadbringer, is Ben Dur from Shadow of Intent. Number two is Condemned to Rot, featuring Francesco from Flesh God Apocalypse. Number three is Johnny from Carcosa. Number four is Steve from Despised Icon. Number five is Matt from Cryptopsy. Number six is who was it? Jason Evans from Ingested. Number seven is Hal from Engulf. And then number 8 is Oliver from Arcspire. Number 9 is David from Signs of the Swarm. And then number 10 is Ricky from Of Sulfur. So tons of bands on here. Guest features from tons of bands I don't really listen to at all. For the most part, the only one that I really was familiar with on these names were Cryptopsy, Despised Icon, Arcspire, and Shadow of a Tent. I'm just not a huge fan of the other bands on here. So, but that didn't deter me from it. So let me show the CD really quick. This is the CD itself, which looks awesome. And then turn it over and there's the band, and it's like a movie poster pretty much, which essentially is what this album is. It's paying homage to all the old school horror movies. Every single song is a theme of a horror movie. And then the cover, yes, it is paying homage to Mortician. If you know what that is, the Mortician album, then you know that this looks absolutely familiar. So anyway, I lost my train of thought there. So there are some goodies and Easter eggs in here. There's a Dawn of the Dead poster right there. Every single VHS is a different horror movie. But the artist himself, a lot of people were like, hey, did you mean for this to look like the Mortician album? And he was like, yeah, we're paying homage to it. Like, I wasn't trying to rip it off or anything. Like, essentially we're paying homage to it and pretty much all, things horror movies. So, the inside is the lyrics and then more images, which are awesome. These are like close-ups of the album cover. So there you go. There's the VHS. So it's Hellraiser, Terrifier, Halloween. I can't read the third one because I'm blind. And then Evil Dead. These are all like the little tiny Easter eggs in here of the album cover, which I think this artwork is simply phenomenal. So I saw that snippet about the artist and what he said on Facebook. Somebody commented on it when they were talking about this album. I was trying to find the artist name because I completely blanked on it. I will post it in the description. Artwork, Dan Goldsworthy. So yeah, Dan was the one that commented and said like, hey, yeah, we're paying homage to Mortician and obviously all things horror movies while we did this. So there you go. There's the booklet. It's awesome. The artwork alone pretty much is really great for this album. So the Saw is Eternal is right there. And then here's the back. Similar artwork. There you go. So that's the CD. So overall thoughts on the album. So Aborted is a very hit or miss band for me. I either really like their albums or don't care too much for them. So this is being their 12th studio album. A lot of their newer albums have not really done much for me, unfortunately, in regards to like going back and re-listening. So re-listenability. Their last album, Mania Cult, is one of those I did not care too much for, so I didn't talk about it on here. I also wasn't a huge fan of the EP they put out before that, Le Grand Masquerade. TerraVision was an okay album. I liked that. I think that's probably where they started to lose me a little bit. Retrogore was okay. The Necrotic Manifesto, I loved that album. Global Flatline, all of those first several albums, the Putridity, or the Purity of Perversion, Engineering the Dead, and Gormageddon, 1999, 2001, 2003. Those albums are really good, and that's essentially what got me into Aborted. But this newer sound has made me feel a little bit like it sounds similar to a deathcore album. I'm not a huge deathcore fan. I couldn't tell you like what some of these newer deathcore bands sound like, with the exception of like Lorna Shore, because a lot of people were hyping them up. So I took a little peeksy poo to see what that was all about. I do like Shadow of Intent. That's probably like the one deathcore band that I actually will listen to. So Ben, on the first song, that is a really good song. I was digging it. I really liked it. I also really liked Death Cult. I thought that was a pretty cool song. The middle of the album for me gets a little bit lost. I get a little bit kind of bored, and I start to like lose track of what song I'm on because it sounds similar. The first like 4 songs I get into, and then after that I kind of get a little bit lost. So I've listened to this about 6 times now. I streamed it several times Friday when it came out, and then since I've gotten the CD, I've spun it a couple of times. And I still, if I had to tell myself in terms of like going back and listening to this, say, next year, I don't know if I will, to be honest with you. It's just, there's a lot of things about it. The vocal style sometimes sounds like deathcore, and that makes sense because there are deathcore singers on here. Other times I get tired of just the super digitized and over the top guitar styling, which I don't mind that on the new Cryptopsy album last year. I got over that, and I really enjoyed that album after I listened to it and it sunk in with me. But for this one, I still haven't gotten there. So I would say where I'm at right now in terms of a rating, if I were to rate this out of a 10, I'm at a 5 right now. I think it just needs to grow on me a little bit more. Some of the like hardcore fans are really upset with me about this. I have some friends who like just absolutely love this band and love this album, and they're just like screaming album of the year already, and I just know it's not going to be my album of the year at all. But I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna keep going at it. But like I said, there's just a lot of deathcore sound on here that I'm hearing. I don't know if that's intentional. That's not what their past albums have made me feel like, but this one just absolutely does. And like I said, I don't know if it's the guest features on here that are doing it for me. It's very possible. So interested to know what you guys think about this album. Let me know in the comments. Aborted is a fantastic band. So despite what I'm thinking about this album, I think I just need to sit and digest it more. Maybe need to be in the mood. As a brutal death metal fan, I was hoping this would be a more brutal death metal sounding album. There are elements to it here and there for sure. But yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. I think it's a grow around me, but I'm going to keep it. I don't plan on getting rid of it. I just, for the artwork alone, at least, that's a good thing. I do love their logo too. Their logo is pretty cool. But yeah, so let me know. Volta 4's Aborted. The band is out of Belgium. Nuclear Blast Records. And yep, that's all that I have. Hope you guys are enjoying your week, and I hopefully will have more content this week. I'm just not feeling too good, so we'll see. See you guys in the next one.